In these first 8 clips, we're going to look at Damian Lillard cutting off the defender. So in this first one against the Bucks, obviously he's using his left hand dribble, but once he gets his advantage on his defender, he re-angles and goes towards his right. So now, not only is the defender who's guarding Damian Lillard on Damian's back, so is John Henson, the trailing defender. By changing angles and getting the defender on his back, now these two defenders, if they go and try to block the shot, well, they're going to not get a clean look because they're going to run in their body into Damian Lillard's body. In this next clip, we'll look at the exact same concept. First, we'll watch the play full speed. As we break it down, we'll notice again that as Damian Lillard gains advantage on his defender, in other words, when he begins to separate past his defender, he changes angle and puts the defender on his back. By doing this, Damian Lillard both changes speeds and he protects the ball from the defense. This angle in this video versus the Magic is amazing because first, you can see because of the angle of Damian Lillard's body and how his left foot is to the left outside of the frame of his body, this makes it apparent that he's changing directions and trying to either initiate contact into the defense's body or simply just change direction so that he can cut off the defense. Now, as we look at the finish, this is a beautiful finish because the order of the defender, Damian Lillard, and the ball is exactly that. It's defender, Damian Lillard's back, and then the ball. In the next play versus the Warriors and Draymond Green defending Damian Lillard, we're going to see the exact same things. So once again, we're going to see the angle of his legs, which show that he's either initiating contact and or changing directions of his drive. And then on the finish, we see again that Damian Lillard uses his back to protect his shot and not allowing it to get blocked. And then here he uses a good right hand extension to finish the layup. We're going to move through these next plays quicker and just freeze it at the point of emphasis. His right foot being outside the frame of his body here shows that he's initiating contact and trying to cut the defender off. And then here we see again defender, back, ball. This last one is not the best one-on-one defense, but the principle of cutting off the defender still applies. Here you see, again in slow motion, Damian Lillard drives to his left and then reestablishes his angle and gets the defense on his back. Now we're going to move to bump offs. These are very similar to the cutoffs we just looked at, but here on the bump offs, there's actually going to be more contact to where Damian Lillard actually bumps off of the defense. There's more contact and there's a clear change of speed, and as you'll see in these clips, because of the contact that's initiated, Damian Lillard as the ball handler is able to control the speed of the defense. Before we look at what Lillard does really well right here, we're going to look at another play and see what could possibly go wrong in these kind of finishing situations. I knew Draymond Green got a lot of blocked shots, and so I just looked for footage of him blocking a shot, and it just so happened to be against the Timberwolves. Now right here we're going to see as Teague tries to finish, he doesn't initiate a lot of contact. Draymond Green is a really strong defender and it's hard to do against him, but still not a ton of contact is initiated. And then the ball is exposed so that the order is defender, ball, body instead of the other way around like we've seen. I want to make one final point in this play. You can see Teague's legs and his feet are directly under his body. As we saw earlier with Damian Lillard, when his legs go outside the frame of his body, he drives into the defender and creates leverage. So if you're trying to create leverage and get the defender off of you, your legs have got to be outside the frame of your body and your shoulders got to be going into the defensive player. Now back to this play, the key point here is that Damian Lillard initiates and creates contact with JaVale McGee. He gets his shoulder/back into him, and by doing so, here's the important thing, JaVale McGee loses his momentum of his jumping to block the shot. JaVale McGee here is not in the optimal body position to get up and block a shot. Moving on to this next play with Josh Jackson of the Suns playing defense, Here we see that Josh Jackson, because he gets cut off from Damian Lillard, he has to rise up and get out of his athletic position, and then Damian Lillard is able to finish without the defense contesting. This next play is plain and simple. Damian Lillard cuts off James Harden so well that James Harden is completely taken out of the play. Now, could his defensive effort been better in this play? Maybe so, but the point is he cut him off totally and ended up getting a wide open layup. Last point on this play is if James Harden is running full speed, he's going to foul Damian Lillard and push him in the back. Drawing fouls is just another benefit of cutting off and bumping into defenders, which is exactly what we see in this next play as Gortat commits the foul. Gortat? Whatever his last name is, on Lillard here. Now, these next few clips we're just going to watch. I'm not going to say too much, but just to give you a greater sample size, here's 3 more good examples of bumping off and initiating contact with the defense. That concludes part 1 of this Damian Lillard film session. 2 important things to consider. 1, these moves and these concepts of scoring and creating leverage, cutting off defenders, bumping off of them, all that stuff, the concepts are simple, but it takes practice and it takes reps to get them into your game. I promise you, Damian Lillard has spent thousands and thousands and thousands of hours mastering his game, and that's why he's so good. Also, he's one of the fastest, strongest, most skilled, best shooting, best dribbling, most intelligent basketball players on the face of the earth. So he makes these things look easier than they actually are, but players, don't be discouraged. Keep practicing, keep studying your own film, and you'll get better at it. The second point to consider is that sometimes these video clips might get repetitive because they're the same situation over and over again, but I did that, 1, for the purpose of sample size. I think any coach, if they're trying to prove something or trying to teach something, the more clips that they can show of the same move, the more convincing it will be. And then the other part of that is, to be a good basketball player, repetition is like the name of the game. You just got to repeat reps, repeat film, all that kind of stuff. Now, as we go to part 2, there's going to be 3 parts. In the part 2 video with Damian Lillard, it's going to be 3 parts: winning the angle war, gliding across, help defenders, and then the third part, and this is just the terminology I came up with. I'm not good at terms, so I would love to see in the comments what you guys call this next move in the next video. I just call them for now half turn, low dribbles, and you'll see he just kind of turns his body halfway and really loads up his body ready to attack. So stay tuned for that, and I appreciate you guys watching as always.